What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show y'all how to do an oil change on a Silverado Sierra 4.8 liter or 5.3 liter V8. This is what you're going to need. You're going to need a funnel. You're going to need something to catch the oil in. You're going to need 5 quarts of oil. I'm using 5W30. That's what you're going to have to use as well. Also need the extra quart of oil. Using a 13 millimeter wrench. That's what mine called for. I also have an oil wrench for the oil filter. Alright, so basically you're going to get up under there. There's the plug. I'm not going to lie, last time I had somebody else change my oil, I was being lazy, and they kind of put the plug on a little too tight. You don't want to put it on too tight or you can strip it out. So basically you get it loose with your ratchet. Then once you get that sucker loose, you just kind of unthread it with your hand. I pretty much just, hold that oil pan up there, that way I don't spill any on the ground. But you just kind of, once you get it all the way out, you just kind of keep the pressure and just yank it, and it'll drain out on its own. But just make sure you have an oil pan there ready to catch it, or you're gonna make a mess. All right, so now we got the oil flowing. I'm gonna sit there and basically let that flow out until it goes to nothing, and then always remember to put your plug back in. If you don't, you might have some problems because the oil is not going to stay in your truck. Clean off the plug. Make sure the rubber gasket is on the plug. It's a small little gasket. All right, clean off the excess. That way it doesn't, look horrible. That way it's not all over your truck. You don't want oil everywhere. And then put the plug back in and then tighten it up with your 13 millimeter wrench. Just snug it up. You don't want to put too much pressure on it. Like I said, you don't want to strip it out. And this plug is righty tighty, lefty loosey. Alright, next we're going to use our oil filter wrench. I'm going to stick that around there. You want to get it to where it's almost hand tight. Loose enough to grab with your hand. Just slowly turn it until that oil starts draining. So you're going to want to let most of that oil drain off of it. And then once you think most of it's done, you can pull it. There is going to be oil inside the oil filter, so make sure you keep it above your oil pan. As you see right here, once you pull it, it's going to have maybe a quarter of a quart in there. And let that drain down as well too. And then you're going to want to, when you put your filter back on, you're going to want to hand tighten it. Get your wrench again, and you're just going to want to tighten it to where it's pretty snug. Which once again, you don't want to over tighten it. Also, I put some new oil on top of the oil filter on the new gasket. It doesn't say that you have to do that, but that's just what I've always heard, and I've always done that. So put some of the new oil around the seal on the top, and make sure the old seal came off of the truck. A lot of times that other seal, it gets stuck up there, and if you have two seals, you're basically going to have a huge leak. And so once you get that on, you're going to want to go under your hood. Of course, take off your oil cap. You're going to want to use 5W30 and the 4.8 and the 5.3. It's going to take 6 full quarts. Sometimes it's 5.5, but I just go ahead and put 6. Alright, so once you dump your first quart, that's a 1 quart jug. Then we got the 5 quart jug. Be careful not to spill this all over your engine block. If you do that, you have to clean it all up, or basically your engine's going to have oil all over it and be nasty, and potentially a fire if you spill too much on there, because it will get that hot to light it up. But that's basically it. Once you get your oil in there, you put your cap back on, crank up your truck, make sure it has a good oil pressure in it, and check the dipstick to make sure it's reading correctly. And that's how you change the oil in a 4.8 or 5.3 liter 1500 Silverado Sierra. This is me basically pouring the waste oil back in the jug to bring back to the place. So like, subscribe, comment. If you got any other videos you want to see, let us know. Maybe we can get to them. Appreciate it, guys.